But this is another one that I really think is going to be useful for all of us. It's called IO reports. You guys should open up your IO reports when you're looking at this even and check it out, because this is a whole nother process again. And it's going to, every one of these typically has an intro section where they want to introduce you to it and take you through it, but it really helps. But here, you can put an address in. What address do we want to use, guys?
117 41st. No, 115 41st.
Oh, my address? 115 41st Street Northeast. And it'll come up with where? What the heck? Let me try it this way. But here's the deal. Some communities, this isn't going to work as well for. So if I go into this one to get a market report, personally, I think it stinks, because, and I'll show you why. What it does is it starts to generate everything about the neighborhood and where the prices are, and you can generate a report. Don't forget the generate report section. These are reports because these are meant to be handed to people. They're not meant to be emailed to people. So you've got to watch how you work it. But look what it does. It does not break down. These are saltwater canals. This is saltwater canal. This is a freshwater boatable lake. These aren't on any lake, any kind of water. Yeah, there's apartments over here, right? And it's grabbing all of these from the inlets through Riverdale, through River Point to Carlton Arms, which doesn't make any sense at all. But it doesn't allow you to adjust the map that I know of. So if anybody plays in this and figures out how to adjust the map, great. But right now, it shows a median asking price in our neighborhood of $835, and it's just not real. I mean, there are homes in the inlets right now that are on freshwater canals that are going in the sevens.
What's right on the top right?
Oh, multi-million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going 3.2, I think.
Yeah. 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 They're way up there, and right back here, you're still at that. This house that's for sale, I think it's at 2.8 on the point right here. A lot of these are 1.5, 1.6, 1.8. And then you drop back out of this internal gated section of the inlet. Anyway, it's totally different beast. So this is very effective if you have a standard community that you're working with, and it'll do those things for you, and that's cool. So now let's see. I don't know if I can backpedal here. I can. Good. So now here's a different spin though. This I think is great. Get neighborhood lifestyle report. This, I think, as much as we sell that this is about your lifestyle, not ours in here, it's important that we use that for people. So the neighborhood lifestyle reports definitely tells you what's going on. And this is Riverdale, but of course it's Riverdale Revised, which covers all these communities, but we're using mine. But it's saying, how do I get around? Amenities, education, all these various things. They're in here. How will I get around? Okay, well, you click on it. Car-friendly scores, transit scores. These are the things that a lot of people want to see. No, I don't want to share my feedback right now, but thank you. So anyhow, I think that it's cool when you start looking and going, well, what else? Walkability, car-friendly, what can it do? How about just amenities, groceries, shopping? It covers these things that I think so many people want to know about varying communities, and especially if they're not from here. But even being from here, it's amazing how many people don't know what's around them. People don't know that there's a neat barbecue joint, or where can I get my hair cut? It's good stuff. Have you ever seen this, Leah?
Yeah, it's very interesting to me. Homes where people have their businesses registered.
Ah, hadn't seen that either. That's interesting. There you go.
Daddy's Barbecue LLC is.
That's great. Yeah, no, that's River Point or Riverdale. That's Fourth Ave up here. But yeah, okay, so that is interesting. We'll have to share that with them. But shops and services, maybe it'll show us restaurants.
Go to manage sections.
but you're not wrong. Where's managed sections? Ah, I gotcha. Sorry, it was hiding behind this.
So this is just,
Oh, you
basically
you
action-
decide which ones you
action
want.
pages.
Right. So again, if a page doesn't make sense, you don't include it. That's easy enough too, right?
Interesting. I typed in our address in Palmetto.
Mhm.
It's saying for the last year, and right now it's a neutral market.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I saw
Sure.
that in Northport. They're saying that it's becoming more of a neutral market. Sales have been booming. But that's stellar MLS. They're running off of sales data.
Hmm.
Of course, we may see different things, and you need to decide who you want to give this to and who you don't. Who would you want to give that to?
Not me.
Buyers?
Yeah.
Would you give it to a seller that you're trying to get them to price it very effectively for our current market? Probably not. So again, it's sales, so we need to determine what part we want to use. And but it's powered by local logic, their internal systems. So I think that this, again, depending on where you're using it from. So let's see, how do I get out of this? Go away. I've got too many reports open. Let's change this to a different address. Let's go to, what's the other one I'm getting ready to do? 9308, something like that. Firethorn, I think. There you go. So this is another listing we're getting ready to take, and let's see what it says about a market report in here. I sold him this house for 970,000, by the way, not that long ago, but the market has changed and things change. They are actually pulling River Club. This is not wrong. That's our median sales price in there. Okay, so you need to know your own communities you're working, right? It's very important, and that's what we use the MLS for. We use this to create reports that look great, make us look great to buyers and sellers. This one, they're also trying to say a little bit of a neutral market, but it's really a buyer's market still. And they're indicating that. Well, what's interesting to me is all of a sudden you come down here, if you go too far, how much do homes in this cost in this area? Yeah, and you know what? It's true. You can get them in this range. The 925 is for the specific one that we're looking at listing, right? So this one, again, is this really the price range? No, that's not the highest listing in there by any means. So we need to know our own data still. And I'm going to have some critiques for their firm here as we go. But again, this is based off October, even though I said sales price versus asking price within the last year. Within the last year. Gosh, look where the prices went. Down, down, down. It's not a neutral market, is it?
August, September, and October.
Are going back up. They're trending up. Uh, does this not start to indicate that our market may be turning? I think that our market is starting to turn. So should you act somewhat fast if you like a property? Yes. Properties are moving slower and it's always including Northport because it's Sarasota. Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton metropolitan area average. That's the time to move quickly. We don't want to move slow. When the market's moving slower, we want the buyers to move quicker because they're going to get the best deals. It's just the way it works. And then, it even goes into local factors in the communities. Let's see if this is accurate. Sport facilities, many nearby. Yes, they are. All right, so does it tell me any more than that? It does not. Okay, so, but it's true. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's easy highway access. There are many sporting utility or facilities around and great schools. It's a fact. Okay, so will anybody use this report?
Yeah, possibly.
That one.
If you're looking for something to share with people, you go to print report. If they say you are supposed to present these in person, I still think that's a good idea too, because you'll also have some other solid market data with you, right? Okay. Well, that is the end of the tools I want to share today. We're gonna get out of the tools. Now, we're gonna shift gears. Leah, you drive. And here's why. We're shifting gears, so here's where we need a break and so people can come and go, and this is a totally different one. I was thinking when we do our CMAs for people, our market analysis, we want to be professionals with that, right? Are we a professional with that if we just go to square footage and say, here's the square footage pricing and voila, here's what your home's worth? Do you know how many agents do that? It's ridiculous. They're untrained. They are leading people astray and selling homes for less, leaving a lot of money on the table oftentimes, which helps our buyers. But we want to do this with buyers and sellers. Okay, so now, Leah, pull up a community where you want to do a listing. Not Wahumla. Oh, Wembley Run. That's a real street. I didn't think it was. That's great. Okay. Yes.
Oh my gosh, if I can type.
You can do it. Oh,
There
there's
we
the
go.
correction right there. Did you mean?
Yes, I did.
Oh, down below. So anyway, as we get into this, what I want to show you guys is another simple method of coming up with effective pricing. So now let's just look at results. Yeah, you can go through everything you want. All those things, all of them help because you're going to see how things are priced. Now go to results. And let's look. Two of these have pools, right? None of the rest do. So that makes it a little tricky because now what I would typically do in a community, oh, it's grabbing communities. Okay. But what I would typically do is I would go into an area and I would say, now, no pools. What's the average square footage pricing on that house? You guys will start to follow me on this real quick. I hope. My math brain does run a little different than some. Average square footage, go to your right. Okay, list price, sold price. There's the differences. So we know that right now, out of the solds, there's 3 of them there. And if we average them, we've got 238, 200, and 213. So all we have to do, of course, is take the 38 and the 213, add them together, which is 51. So 51 divided by 2 is, let's just go with 25. So it's kind of looking to me like probably about 215 is an average list price in that community.
So 213, 238.
Add all 3 of them together, 199, 213, 238. What's your average?
217.
Okay, I was off by $2. 215, 217, average sales price without a pool, right? Now, have any sold that have pools? It gets trickier if they haven't, but
Actually, wait.
all right, well, let's look at it. And
Oh, no. No.
I see expireds with pools. Okay, but what we can do is still, when let's back up then. When we're listing a property, we're looking at active, pending, solds, and expireds because nobody wants to be in the expireds or canceled fields. We want to show that to our sellers, right? And we also want to show those to our buyers because our buyers need to know that if they're overpriced, they're not selling them. We can use the same data to throw at the listing agent and go, hey, wait a minute now. Here's what I'm saying in the community. Is this how you did it? That has a 2-car garage. This has a 3-car garage. But again, backing up, pool, no pool. If there are enough properties to use in the community, you simply do a square footage price without a pool, square footage price with a pool. Now, of course, if somebody has a 3-car garage versus a 2-car garage, it's going to skew it a little bit, but you'll get a feel for it. And then, of course, just subtract the difference and say, here's how much per square foot that pool's adding to the price of the house. in general, it's going to give you a number. Okay? You can use that in your listing on a home that has a pool, doesn't have a pool, when you're pricing it. And you can share that data with people. And you know, guess my brain, of course, I'd have to go back through and also change for the garage. Yes.
To be fair though, I'm going at it most of the time also thinking after many an experience doing that kind of pricing as to what the appraiser is gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I've had so many that are lazy and they just go, okay, pool, 30 grand.
And they can.
White.
And
I've had some that just
and-
go by square foot.
and they
Like,
they
you're
can.
Adding anything else?
But those are the ones you challenge, and you still probably don't win. But we think like an appraiser, but we also want to think like a good appraiser. An appraiser that does that, in my opinion, is not a good appraiser. They don't know their trade, and they're not working their craft as we want to with what we do. So again, how about if it's a home that has a 2-car garage versus a home that has a 3-car garage? Can you not research that in the MLS? Okay, pull the averages, and subtract the difference, and that's about what that 3rd-car garage is really worth. So I was just thinking, I've so often gone back to my contractor brain and again, how to price things. You know, what's a 3-car garage worth versus a 2-car garage? Probably 10 grand. In reality, in a resale, it might only be 5 grand. You've got to look at the neighborhood and see what the values are pulling. That is what an appraiser will do, and they will adjust for a 3-car garage versus a 2-car garage. But yes, a pool is a pool is a pool. However, if you have this data already laying there for them, and they don't have to do their homework themselves, the appraiser will pick that up and go, oh, well, look at that. I guess a pool in this community is worth 45,000 instead of 30 or 20 that we typically give them. Things like that. It really helps. So again, now you're looking for, my home has a new roof. That one didn't. Is this not a breakdown that would be doable for such a thing? Right. Yeah, all of these things. Okay. So I really think that this will help with breaking down and doing effective professional market analysis for our buyers and sellers. Do you want to do it for a buyer? Absolutely. If we don't do this for our buyers that are making offers, we're doing them an injustice because they really are just grabbing at a number. Well, this is what I want to offer. Okay, that's fine, but why? It's okay to ask a buyer why, or what do you base that on? It's just what I want to spend. Okay, but let me show you the market comps so that you know if they come back, what we're going to be facing. Okay, it makes a difference. Now, it is tough when you're in a community where people aren't giving in on pricing. That makes it tough. If we're in a market where we're in a downward trend and say we're in one of the big country clubs, let's say we're in the Lakewood Ranch Country Club. People are not being quick to cut prices. We have a couple of agents in there that are getting their sellers to, and even by hundreds, 200,000s and things like that. I always assume that those sellers really need to sell. And if a seller really needs to sell, what fixes everything in what we do? Price. It just does. So we need to, again, point that to people and work that way. But it's important to consider these things as we're working with buyers and sellers. That's all I've got on that, but I think it helps. Any questions on that one? That's what I was going to say. Does it make sense? Okay, because it's easier than coming to me and going, hey, Kent, what's an extra half bath cost? Depends on the community. Typically $2,500 could be 5 grand. Just depends on the community, right? How do we price a full bath versus a home that has a half bath? Same thing. We're just running numbers. But these are ways of breaking it down instead of getting stuck with numbers that may be from times gone by already, because time moves quickly.
Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Losing all my focus, I can't even even control it.